Hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis. So I got a question from a viewer, and I'm on a new server. I really want to level up my buffs. What's the quickest way to do it? So first, we'll pretend you're a very low coiner, because if you are a coiner, it's pretty easy. Just start buying stuff. But if you are a coiner, there is new Aptoid codes coming out this Friday, 1 week long VIP codes. So in no particular order here, one thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go and get some subs. Get PvP subs if that's what you care about. And you can just get Japanese and just get green ones if that's all you could find, and they'll give you 4% attack and get as many as you can. And that also, don't forget to improve your ranking, because if you look here, this will tell you how many extra subs you'll get just by moving up. Quickest way to improve that is by killing monsters. Other things that you should really be focusing on is I'd move spiritual beasts, ones that you want, because let's pretend it's really early in the game. There's some here that help with like range and siege and ground, right? Mounted. So put that on the generals that you want. And other things that I would do, serious advice here. So in the academy, obviously you got to do like defense, get some good defense up, military, get that up, but focus on what you want. Like, let's pretend you're not a big coiner, right? And resources are limited. Gold's limited early in the game. Buy all the packs, by the way, where it's like super bonus pack, you reach level 25, buy this. Like, that stuff really helps. So I would buy that stuff. I would also buy the stuff that says, buy this pack and you'll get refunded, or like spend 50,000 gems in game and we'll refund you, like things like that, and you get stuff for free. But what I was going to say in here is pick the troop type that you want to use early in the game and focus on that one. For almost everybody, it's going to be archer attack you want, and you're going to want to debuff horse HP because that's what you're killing. So just pick the one that you want and go for it. Don't spread out your research stones too much on all different stuff. I wouldn't even worry too much about the big stuff. I would try and get to K33, because K33 is going to get you the forge, where you're going to get to do some debuffs. You're going to get to use Achaemenid gear, and as you can see, these have negatives, right? Minus 20. You put those on your sub generals, and then that will work as debuffs against the enemy. And then your gear, obviously, right? You're going to want to get gear and generals. So I'd probably use some of that money early on to get me a good general. So if I wanted archers, I would wait till the first event came where there was a really good archer general, and I just buy it. I just buy the couple packs that it took to get that archer general, and it's really going to help, and it's going to last you at least like a year and a half. If it's a new premium general that just came out, they don't get outdated for too long. And then one extra tip that a lot of people really don't think about is I would get duty officers, okay? And even if you're just going to do like a junior barracks officer, things like this that will help with training speed, because you're going to run out of speeds and stuff like that early on. So I'd be finding those, and I'd be finding the proper generals in the tavern for the buildings that can have a duty officer. So for example, you could get who are we looking at here who would give you buffs who's in the tavern? So this guy's in the tavern and he'd help you with march size. Sucks because I think you need rally spot 35 to actually put him on. But there's other generals in there that will have some buffs also, like Askia Muhammad for the workshop and people like that. Another bonus tip that I would do, this will go along with Monarch talent, is if you look in here, I didn't know this for a long time. Actually, a guy who joined my alliance recently told me about it a couple years ago. He came from my old server, and he was a guy who told me after like a year, he's like, you should have 1200 attack, man. This was back in the day when that was pretty respectable. And I only had like 1050. And he's like, something's wrong. And then I went into subordinate cities and he was showing me, and he's like, yeah, You got to do all this stuff for defense because it multiplies per sub. Each subordinate city increases the troop attack when defending by 3. So that's right. So 3% each one. So if you have 7 subs, that's 21%. And then there's other ones down here that are the exact same. But where I was going with this was it was in Monarch talent that he helped me out. And I didn't have subordinate city attack on. That's 4% times how many subs you have. And then in city HP, 8%, right? Increases. And then subordinate city HP, each subordinate city can boost troop HP 2%. So I didn't have all that stuff on. And there's other ones here like in city attack, but those will be for later on in the game. But anyways, those sort of tips really helped me out. Monarch gear, I'd make sure to get at least to like level 5 or 6. You can do some things that'll help out with that, patrolling and just doing good on world boss and that sort of stuff. But anyways, that's pretty much the tips early on. You don't have to have, actually, you know what? One bonus tip. March buff. Use March size capacity. You don't know how important that is. This stuff, these 20% stuff, that means nothing. It doesn't help you out at all. I used to think when people were killing monsters and they're like, yeah, I got my buffs on. I was like, oh man, 20%. And then I'd put it on. I'd be like, it doesn't really help. March size is the buff you want. And I'd put it on in Battlefield and I'd try to get as many points as I could, or in SVS if I was you, and that sort of stuff. So anyways, I'd save your refined stones like always, like everybody. Dragon's gear, don't refine it because then you upgrade it to Ares. And the cap goes up to 25, but your refines stay the same that you used to have them. So I'd if you get a little bit of Civ gear, obviously refine it. But those are my real beginner tips. Pick what you want to focus on. You're not going to have endless resources early on. And by resources, I mean like materials to craft stuff and gold to upgrade and research stones. So pick the lines you want in the academies and just follow them. Do the minimum of everything you need to do so that you could focus on those things like Archer and whatnot. Anyways, let me know in the comments. Let other people know in the comments what you would focus on if you were them and help out some new players. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.